Hello, my artist friends. Welcome to Imagination Draw Along. I'm Aunt Dewey. Thank you for drawing with me today. Today I want to draw some friendly fairies. So let's visualize what our paper will look like. I know I want to draw 2 floating magical fairies with wings and maybe some sparkly dresses. They'll have magic wands, of course, and a circle of rocks underneath the fairies. If you're not sure why, I'll explain it. And we'll try to make sure our picture has a really strong sense of magic. Let's get started. And remember, if you don't have tons of colors with you or anything to draw with, that's okay. Your imagination can picture it along with us. That's still really fun. My fairy will be flying, so I'm going to draw her floating in the air. So I'll start with her round head, and I'm going to give her green eyes. I want them to be green because I'm going to match them to her dress later, and I've already decided that I want her dress to be green. You can pick whatever color you like. Sometimes I think ahead while I draw, and other times I just see where my crayon takes me. So I've got her green eyes and her nose, and she is smiling because she's magic. And when I feel magical, I smile too. I'm going to draw her hair next, and I'm going to draw it very big and tall, like a beehive. I think this is where she stores her magic, in her hair. Like if her wand runs out, she'll have a reserve of magic there. I usually store my own magic in my heart or my mind or my opposable thumbs. Now I'll draw her body, and I'm gonna draw her body kind of long and willowy. My next fairy will have a different body, but this one's going to be kind of skinny and have a longish neck and slender shoulders. But of course, she's still strong enough to fly. And then I'll draw her dress. Her dress will look almost like flower petals. And it goes down to her knees. So I'm drawing long, loopy flower petals to make a dress. Of course, fairies can also be boys, and they don't have to be shimmering. They can be anything you want. That's part of your artist's choice. I made her arms very long and willowy, and now I better make sure she has a magic wand in one hand. And that's going to be a stick with a magical tip on the end. Sometimes at the end of magic wands, I've seen stars or butterflies or hearts or flowers or even a spark of fire. What type of magic wand goes with your fairy? Remember, there's no wrong choices because this is your artwork. And I suppose when I'm done with my magic wand, I need to give my fairy some legs. And I'll give her some ballet slippers to wear, which look like little socks with ribbons on the top. My second fairy will have a similar fashion sense to my first fairy. She also keeps her magic in her hair. I'll draw her flying next to her friend, her BFFF, which means best fairy friend forever. She's also smiling because she's magical and she's feeling the magic. And I'll give this fairy some purple eyes. As always, you get to decide on your colors. No need to match me exactly unless you feel like it. And instead of giving this fairy a slender, willowy body, I want to give this fairy a plump, round body. Of course, she's still strong enough to fly. So I'm going to draw her shoulders wider and strong, and her dress is wide too, but it's still made of flower petals that reach her knees. And I will give her some ballet slippers as well, with the bows on the top. These BFFFs love their ballet slippers. And I'll place a magic wand in her hand. And once again, it's up to you what type of magic end is at the end of her wand. Some ideas might be a star, a butterfly, or a heart, or flowers, or a spark of fire. Or maybe something you thought of all by yourself. I'm noticing something very important that I forgot to add to my fairies. Their wings. Fairies need wings. Maybe you remembered wings already. I'm going to give my first fairy wings behind her that look like butterfly wings. Nice and big and wide. And I want to add colors and patterns to these wings. But first I'm going to add wings to my second fairy, and I'm going to make those wings look more like dragonfly wings. So that means I'll draw 2 long, skinny wings on each side of her body. And I want to decorate both fairies' wings with lots of color and lots of care. Fairies take very good care of their wings. Take a moment to decide on colors and patterns for the wings and add those in. This is a great place for your imagination to be free to do whatever. Colors, shapes, swirls, patterns. And while you're working on the wings, I'll turn to any adult that's in the room and say thank you very much for tuning into this show. I'm really glad you and your artists are here. If you like this show, it's really helpful for us if you tell a friend about it so they can draw along with us. Or if you've already told all your friends, give us a rating or a review wherever you're listening. Ratings and reviews help other people find the show, which ends up helping out the show. Artists, I'm turning back to you to add another detail to the picture. The next thing I'm going to draw is a circle of rocks below the fairies. Legend has it that a circle of rocks is how you summon a fairy. I have to admit I've never tried it, so I've never summoned a fairy myself. And I say legend because nobody knows if it's really true. So on my ground, on the ground of my picture, I'll draw a few rocks in a circle. And some of my rocks will be gray, like regular rocks, but some will be purple and some will be gold. Those seem like the type of colors that my particular fairies will like. And I don't have an actual gold crayon, so I'm layering some yellow and some brown together. The last thing I want to do is give my picture a feeling of magic and sparkle. So what I'm going to do is outline my entire picture with some of my favorite or most magical feeling colors, kind of like a frame. So I'm going to trace along the outside of my paper with yellow and pink and orange. Whatever colors make you feel happy or feel magical. I want my picture to look and even feel a little bit like it's glowing. So I gave it that sense of magic by adding colors to the outside. And maybe I'll draw just a couple of little stars to make it feel like it's really magical. Stars or little crisscrosses in yellowish gold. Take as much time as you need to finish up. Are there any other details or elements of magic that you want to add? Any more colors or patterns that you want to add to your fairy's wings? Take as much time as you need, and when you're all done, be sure to write your name at the bottom corner of your paper, or your best first initial, or any scribble that reminds you that this is your paper and you are proud that you took the time to draw a picture. Until we draw together again next time, I have 3 things your imagination can wonder about. 1. Have you ever summoned a fairy? How? 2. These best fairy friends forever love dancing together. Who do you love to dance with? 3. Did you know that there's magic in you? Where do you store it? Thank you for drawing with me today. I hope we draw together again soon.